The Null is Drawsteel's unarmed psionic class. They favour mastery of the body rather than the talent's mastery of the mind. And they do this through their discipline, which is their heroic resource. So they gain 2 discipline at the start of their turn, and they gain another discipline when an enemy takes a main action in their null field for the first time in a round, and the first time in a round that the director uses malice. And they have a unique way to interact with that discipline, which is their discipline mastery. So it's different for each subclass, but it means that as they build their discipline, they get extra effects. So things like edges on grabs and knockbacks, surges, and extensions to their null field. Which brings us to their null field. It's a unique maneuver the class has. They switch it on once and it's just kind of on. Basically, it's a 1 aura, so every square adjacent to them, the potencies of those enemies' abilities is reduced by 1. They can also choose to spend discipline on their turn to put an extra effect on the null field. So they can make it so the enemies that are pushed get pushed further. They can make it so the enemies in the null field can't shift. And they can make it so that enemies in the null field have, or your allies' potencies affect them more. Complicated way of saying it, but that's how it works. They also have null speed, which is what it sounds like. They get to add their intuition to their speed, again reinforcing this sort of unarmed fighter, like a monk. And they similarly have psionic martial arts, which allows them to use their intuition instead of their might for knockback and grab. Now, the Null has 3 subclasses. They have the chronokinetic, the cryokinetic, and the metakinetic. So the chronokinetic is a master of time, so less that they can manipulate time, more that it doesn't affect them. So they can move super fast, they can be multiple places at once, or at least seems that way when they're lashing out. They also get the ability to disengage anytime they use the class's triggered ability, which is inertial shield. So they all get inertial shield, but when they do, which halves damage, the chronokinetic shifts out the way. Very like the Flash, that kind of vibe. Along the same lines, the cryokinetic is a null who's in touch with absolute cold. So they've got kind of like ice abilities. And they're basically just good at slowing down enemies and, debuffing them. And the way they interact with their inertial shield is when they use their inertial shield to stop the damage coming in, they can grab as a free maneuver. And finally, the metakinetic, which is all about mastery over their body and changing its shape. They can give themselves iron skin, they can hit harder, push further, and they interact with their inertial shield by being able to knock back for free anytime they use it. So this kind of creates it's quite a big package of abilities for the Null, but it basically results in this sort of hybrid, or I guess original concept of this psionic warrior, but also this unarmed fighter. And the null field in particular is really cool because it's something your positioning really matters. You have a lot of speed, you can get around the place quite easily, but where you end your turn, who is in that null field, who can you stop, get away, or potentially deal more damage to, or have more effects hit, really matters. And it means you have to think quite tactically as a null.